tiny little head.
It is that time of week once again. Time to check in with our friends at Blush Exotic, 9th Street downtown. And my guest joining me right now in studio, she is the feature performer for the weekend. And I believe she actually had... You had your first performance last night, or have you?
No, yeah, last night was my first
Last night was your first performance. So she had her first performance on Wednesday. Jessa Rhodes joining me here in studio. There's two things I need to point out. One, she smells amazing, by the way. She smells very wonderful. Like, you smell too nice to be in a place like this.
Thank you.
Like, you smell too nice to be amongst this place where it's just like dudes hanging around all day. Like, it's just not fair.
Well, that's why, I came, because it's dudes hanging around all day. I had to...
Which is good, because
freshness around.
Tomorrow morning, they'll come in and be like, who was here? Like, why does it smell so nice? Like, you missed it, dude. Jessa Rhodes was here. Sorry, you missed it. But the good news is, you can catch her the rest of the week. 2 shows tonight, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday at Blush Exotic downtown. And I do this every time a guest comes in. I remind people, Blush Exotic only brings in the best. Only brings in the best for you, Pittsburgh. And this is why I'm bringing this up, because newly recipient of an XBiz award for Best Supporting Actress. So I had to give you the plug for that.
Thank you.
And from what I gather, you were nominated for another award too. Am I correct?
I've been nominated a few times for AVN and a few times for XBiz. Yeah.
And then you won Best Supporting Actress.
I did.
See, she brings home hardware. That's why you want to check her out, 'cause she's good stuff. She's big time. I don't know. We might have to be a little careful booking you next time around. You're getting to that pantheon of big time now. So I can, I don't want to get to that point like, man, I knew where she only had 1 award. Now she's got like 15. You know what I mean? You're getting on that path right now.
Oh, shit. Well, you know what? It's hard work, but we love it. We love what we do, and it's fun. You know what? I have a great team behind me, and it makes it all worth it.
It sounds like the business is booming for you right now.
It is. This last year was a little bit slow because I kind of took some time off to deal with some family stuff and just kind of, gather up life a little bit.
Gotta take care of you.
Yeah. And so this year I'm back, and I'm back dancing and shooting, and mostly shooting this year. So I probably will not be dancing as much. So if you do find me in a city near you, better come through.
Well, we hope as long as you're still dancing, you come back and just to see us every once in a while. Come back to Blush Exotic, and you of course have to come down and see her, or else you're missing out. Clearly. So there's 2 ends to this deal. I have to remind you of that. Now,
I can only make it so far. I can come to Pittsburgh, but you got to come see me.
See? Meet her halfway at Blush Exotic downtown. 9th Street is where you want to go. That's the place. Now, you mentioned that you've been shooting a lot. And there was a question I wanted to ask you, because if I recall correctly, now correct me if I'm wrong, you're working with an agency now that's owned by our buddy Kendra Lust.
Yes.
Who's been here before. So
yes.
Break that down for us. This is kind of a venture that's blowing up. Every time I hear about it.
You know what? Kendra's a good friend of mine, and she's absolutely amazing, heart of gold. We kind of ended up getting screwed over this last year by a certain person with his agency. And so we all decided to leave and branch out and start our own agency. And that agency is called Society 15.
Society 15.
And we have a really good group of girls on our roster, and we're very family oriented. Like, we all hang out together. We're all, check in on each other, see how everyone's doing, and we all shoot together. It's really good. We definitely have each other's backs 110%, and it's just a good group of people.
What's crazy is because Kendra's been here before. She's a friend of the station, and every time if you follow her on social media, you turn around, there's another girl. Society 15 has signed someone else. They've signed someone else. So I'm going, wait, it hasn't been that long. This roster's exploding.
We literally just launched in November.
That's unbelievable. It's been 4 months? You guys are off the wall already.
Yeah, it's been amazing. But you know what? That's all Kendra's reputation and her backing all of this agency, because without her reputation, it probably wouldn't be, going as swiftly as it is. But she's, revered in the industry. So it really is amazing to have her as our owner and our leader with that.
It's funny because I try to explain to people all the time, because we bring in different girls, and a lot of them know each other because you guys work together. And so when you have that many that, or obviously all get along and you're all friends in the same agency and you work together, it kind of builds its own little tiny family.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
Well, I guess it's not tiny because yours is blown up.
Well, it's blown up, but no, it's very, like I said, we're a very tight knit group, and we love what we have, and we're very, very accepting of everyone else. But it's cool to see like our little group, like even at AVN recently, like it was all of us just like hanging out, having fun, and it's rare. Like I've been through a few different agencies, and I could never recall a time where I like hung out with the people in my agency or like really knew who else was in my agency until I'd be on set with someone and be like, oh, you're with so and so, and they're like, oh yeah, me too, and it's like kind of weird to not know who's
right.
On your roster within that group. So it's really cool to have that closeness.
Now, you mentioned being at AVM, which, of course, is in Vegas. So
Yes.
we got to paint the picture
Vegas.
here. Who doesn't love Vegas? Who doesn't love Vegas? But here's the crazy part, because AVN, you get all you guys together in Vegas, which is, it almost seems like it's a bad combination in a good way. So I got to ask you this question, because I've heard some crazy AVN stories before. Do you have a crazy AVN Vegas story for me?
Oh my gosh.
Don't let me down here, Jessa. Don't let me down.
Shoot, I wish I could think of one like right off the top of my head.
Or is there too many to pick from?
There's always, yeah, it's kind of the problem. There's always something going on. It's just the funny thing about the Hard Rock is you walk through it and you see so many things going on all at once. There's people getting like wasted, falling off the bar, and there's like people like laughing. There's people getting in fights. There's, you know, you walk down the hall, there's someone like standing there crying. There's just like so much stuff going on.
So the usual drunk drama is what you're telling me, basically.
But with like a bunch of porn stars, so that know each other. So you're like the usual.
So it's high profile drunk drama.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's like the usual is like you'll be walking down the hall and like someone whips a titty out and you're just like, and it's like normal. Like there's these pictures my photographer got because we're working on this article for Hustler, and so he was just following me around taking pictures the whole time, and he got this amazing, it's like a 4-set shot of my face changing as this girl, it's my friend Scarlett Red and her friend and my boy Van Wild. And we're all in this group right here. And we're all taking pictures. And then all of a sudden, this chick that we don't know, like, swings in, photobombs, and just whips her tits out. And it's funny because our face goes from, like, this to, like...
The slow progression
It was so funny. I was just like, what
the slow progression from LOL to WTF.
Exactly.
What just happened?
It happens all the time. So it's, you know, it's always a good fun crowd. And then, you know what's great is there's always going to be one person that's way more wasted than you were in Vegas. So it's like, no shame.
It's like death and taxes. There's always someone more hammered than you. You know, there's like that old saying, like, you know, appreciate what you have because there's someone always worse off than you.
Yeah.
It's the same thing of it. Appreciate being drunk because there's someone's always more wasted than you are.
Yeah, exactly. Between carrying your friends out of, you know, different situations and, yeah, you know, I got in a couple little... Not fights myself, but, you know...
Minor skirmishes.
Exactly. Disagreements.
Yeah.
You know, Vegas shenanigans, as we like to say.
Shenanigans is one of my favorite words. I'm a big fan of the word shenanigans.
Next person who says shenanigans is going to get pistol whipped.
That was our serious moment.
You know they're coming out with the Super Troopers too?
That's what I hear.
Are you super stoked about this? Because I'm so excited.
It's kind of disappointing because neither of us have tried to work Meow into the interview yet.
Well, how about
But it's still early.
It is still early.
And you just started it, so maybe we'll get that game going. This is fun. I love awkward pauses. We're having a ball with this. Speaking of the word shenanigans, since you're going to be here at Blush Exotic, I gotta set the scene for people because we want them to come out. We want them to see you clearly.
Oh yes,
and we already know. We understand her excellence. We understand her wonderfulness on screen, but we want to get.
I don't look that great in the morning, and I am heading to the gym after this.
You walked in with a hustler jacket, so obviously you got something going on. Don't try to play coy with me. So we know how wonderful she is on screen, but we want to get a good picture of how good you are on stage. Paint the picture for us. Now I like to get a good description of this. I mean, how are you with music, costumes? How do you do it? Do you do it? Is it always pretty set in stone, or do you wide range? How do you make this work?
Hey, Debo, you want to say a couple words?
Oh boy. He's just like, oh no. He wants no part.
You know, the costumes are pretty elaborate.
Okay.
I have a lady who makes my costumes for me, and they're pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie on that behalf.
Custom-made costumes.
They cost me quite a bit, but they're amazing, and it's all worth it because they bedazzle, they shine. The music it's always, everyone's always excited. You know, it's one song and then the next song, and then I dance to a lot of songs that people know, a lot of Bon Jovi, things like that people can relate to. I dance to some newer stuff too, but you know, for the most part, I like to keep it classic and. It's fun. It's never been a dull moment. You know, I kind of got in a little bit of trouble last night with Albert. Yeah.
You have to do a lot to get in trouble with Albert, by the way. He usually lets a lot of things go.
No, I felt bad because we kind of got in a little, you know, argument. We made up. We're fine. But well, because I during my show I like to get a little cozy with people, and what?
Cozy's a good word.
It's cozy.
She's hitting all the buzzwords right now. Cozy, shenanigans, meow. She's hitting them all.
Meow. So we like to get a little cozy, and there's a few. It's been a while since I've been back in Pittsburgh. It was like July of 2014, so it's it's been a while, and so I didn't really think to ask like, oh, what are the rules again? I'm just thinking like, not a big deal. So I'm doing some things that I probably won't say on air. Well, just nothing too extreme, but I don't want to get the club in trouble or anything.
Not extreme, but yet cozy.
Cozy, up in here. Yeah. So yeah, he was like, hey, don't do that again. I was like, okay, no problem. And by what he meant was don't do any of it again, not just the one thing.
Not the one specific part.
And so I was, kind of getting cozy again. And I used some water at the end of my show, too, which they weren't so thrilled about. But the guys loved it. And, there's nothing hotter than a chick dousing herself with water to, like, some Dead or Alive. Like, yeah, I'm a cowboy.
Seriously? Do we need to add all the math up? Okay. Custom-made costumes. She likes to get cozy. She's up for shenanigans. And she smells amazing. And, of course, she's fun. You're running out of reasons to not come see Jessa Rhodes. So, and one last thing I'll ask you before we wrap up here. You said you hadn't been here in a couple years, so you finally got to see the finished product of Blush Exotic.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I was not expecting it at all. When we were here a couple years ago, the club was cool and everything, but they have completely outdone themselves. So if you have not seen the new blush, you definitely need to come by because it is amazing. They have an upper level with another bar area. And they've got a cool little private area, and downstairs is just, they completely outdid themselves. It's very classy, very elegant.
Sports bar on the 3rd floor. It's my favorite part of the whole place. I like to call it a playground for adults because there's just so much stuff to do. The sports bar on the 3rd floor, that's my spot. New menu items, pierogi sliders. Pittsburgh people, you should love this. Pierogi sliders, Spam tacos. I'm not kidding. It's serious. They're outside right now. I'm going to try some here in a minute. But new menu items, great stuff to talk. Great stuff to check out.
I tried the nachos and the chicken tenders last night, and it was amazing.
The chicken tenders are always good. There's poker on Wednesdays, live music on Tuesday nights. But this weekend, Jessa Rhodes is here, so you got plenty of reasons to come check out Blush Exotic, Nice Street downtown. Tell everybody goodbye for us.
You guys are amazing.
Jessa Rhodes, Josh Taylor, Trib Live Radio.
Hope to see you soon, meow.